Hi viewers out there, welcome to Pio and Tito's TV. Today we shall be discussing about the nature of God and his attributes. Pio,
Tito?
yes, it is pretty pointless asking you whether God exists or not, because in one of our recent discussions you made clearly an affirmation that God exists. And as a matter of fact, you even went to the extent to say that he's a spiritual being that cannot just be seen with our naked eyes like that. But my confusion while I was in my subconscious meditation, I discovered that human beings have given certain attributes to God, like he's omnipotent, omniscience, all loving, all merciful, and the rest. How do we that are humans come about the knowledge of God's attributes?
Tito, we human beings are made out of two natures,
Okay.
physical and a spiritual nature.
Okay.
And so, we human beings come to the knowledge of God due to the fact that we transcend the physical sometimes.
Okay.
And most of the times we confirm God's attributes by the miracle performed by Him. Like omnipotent, there are some places, there are some cases people had, and they believe that God, at that point in time, may never easily help them because they are not in the church. You understand?
Okay.
And so when they cry to God, God answered them, and they come to realize that, oh, God is everywhere, and they give Him the name omnipotent, right? Omnipresent.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that means everywhere. Now, another point I want to raise here is that because we are also spiritual, not just physical. Okay. There are some set of human beings. We call them our spiritual fathers, spiritual directors, or spiritual giants.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Sometimes they transcend this our physical world, and they because of their encounter with God, their encounter with the divine, they have this gift of telling us more about God. And so that is that.
Yeah, but my problem there is that after saying that I just experienced some scruples in my brain. Now, the issue is we are all humans, right?
Exactly.
We are all human beings.
Yes.
But why must God, if God is not kind and generous, why must God, choose some persons instead of all humans have the knowledge of God at the same time?
No. By nature, we human beings are not equal. And so, the same thing to our comprehension of things, the same thing to our understanding of even human existence, let alone the invisible. Okay. You understand? And that is why you discover that when you were a student, you discover that in the class in the class, let's put it this way, in a class, you have students who are more intelligent than others. And that is why we have first class candidates, second class lower, and the third class. Okay. And so our knowledge of things are not equal. And so to say that we are human, therefore it means we should have the same knowledge of God is not possible. Yes.
Anyway, okay, let's leave that direction. Let's go to that. Okay, you've affirmed that God is a spiritual being.
Yes.
May I ask you, is the spiritual nature of God a type that I believe that everything that is spiritual cannot be seen with your naked eyes.
Yes.
But another issue is the spiritual nature of God a living thing?
Of course, it's living.
If it's a living thing, then at times God sleeps. And that is why you see people at times, they pray in churches, even in their houses, jumping up and down, crying day and night, but God could not answer them because He sleeps at that moment. All our supplications to Him, He could not hear us.
You have just spoken about the attributes of God. I thought you know them all. But you don't know. You don't know them. You don't know them. Because one of the attributes of God is that God does not sleep. He's always awake. You understand? So He doesn't sleep. We human beings sleep because we have the physical and we are free in our nature. So sometimes we get weak and we sleep. But in the case of God, He does not sleep. Always awake. always
Oh,
alive.
really? I've gotten something from
Yes.
that. Okay, I've gotten
Yes.
something.
And if you remember, that is why we define God as a supreme being who alone exists of himself and is infinite in all perfections.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I
He
now
exists of
understand.
himself. That is the creator who is not created. You understand?
Now, okay, there's this very point you made there that got
Yes.
me my attention.
Yeah.
The point you said, we are humans, but we can have equal knowledge of God. I believe, for instance, in the mathematics class, after exams have been taken, you see some person coming out with A, some B, some C, some D, some E, and some F9.
You are with me.
So definitely, our viewers out there, we can't have knowledge of God the same. We have different capacities of spirituality, and then some people are gifted by nature, and that is why you see some of them, they pray to God day and night, crying and asking God for the gift of vision, the gift of speaking in tongues, the gift of healing, but they can never get it because we are different and we have different gifts. So don't go out there and be debunking the fact that God does not exist because you could not transcend your nature and then assimilate his nature on your own. Kindly humble yourself before a spiritual giant for him to do what? To explain to you how God really exists and he works and his omnipotence, omniscience, the rest and the rest. You can send in your comments in there.